Hi, this is Reverend Leora, and I'm here today to introduce you to a very special, beautiful lady. Her name is Loll, and an unusual name for an unusual woman with an unusual presentation. So I'm going to move out of the way and allow this beautiful presence, this living spirit, to just bring forth her message about spirituality. Here we go. So first of all, what a joy and an absolute pleasure to have you here in the lab.
Thank you.
Just to be a part of this whole prosperous outpouring of taking what we know and what we live and what we believe and what we understand, and yet to grow into even much more enriched into this whole aspect of living in the spirit, living in the right here, right now. And you are such a gift, Loll. And I am so thankful to know you. I am so thankful you are a part of Beyond Sunday Ministry.
Thank you.
And we have someone else that, I'm going to bring over to be a part of this exchange, and that's Paula Dotseth. And I know you know her well.
Yes.
And just, we just want to know more about you and what lives you, what breathes you, what inspires you, because you're that gift.
Well, thank you, my goodness. Well, I feel so strongly about spirit, which has been given to me through the gift of my sister who is in the spirit world. But the main thing when I hear other people talk, or those that can quote the Bible absolutely beautiful, my big thing is, how much do they live that they know? And we know the Bible is the best, biggest seller. Always. It is number one. But number two is so wonderful. It's Children's Progress. That
what
book
an interesting concept.
is really very strong, and children love to learn and get excited over. The world is so new. The outdoors is so different. And I was thinking about Nelson Mandela when he was in prison, and he said he learned to refuse to hate.
Yes.
And he also felt they took everything from me, but they couldn't have my soul. And in that thinking, he gave to the world in those few little words that are so powerful and meaningful. And we all need to know, what are we doing with ourselves that inside is always godly? That's what God gave us. This external that we live with while we're here is why we are trying to learn to be better, more tolerant. But there's other times when we run short, as we do as human beings. But again, we need each other. And so, sometimes we'll find somebody who is so filled with books. But books are a guide, but how do you live? That living is what is vital. And you will learn so much about what you gave on this earth plane when you make your exit. And I always say that's graduation day, going into the next expression. And it is a fact, of course, we will see our loved ones and our friends and people who have been around us who always choose to help us and guide us. there is never an entity that comes around to destroy, because there are those that are negative, but you are to be sharp enough to recognize that is not allowed in my vibration. And you may be very strong to say you go and learn, and when you do, you may come back and visit. And they do that. We do know there's so many more beautiful things to see while we are here. But that next expression is beautiful. All people talk about is, the word is heaven. But my goodness sake, there's many plateaus. And so those that are so sure, and I'm not one of them,
Okay.
because they're going to heaven. Well, I don't know where I'm going, but I do know I will be welcomed. That I know. And my teachers who work with me, I don't make a study to learn their names. Many stay with us only for a brief period of time and move on when we have learned whatever that part was. So therefore, we always have a change of different people coming into us, or I will say dear spirit entities. And the angel world is filled with light, and we will understand more beauty than we can possibly gather here. And so it is.
My goodness, that's such an enlightenment. It truly is.
Thank you.
I just love that inspiration that comes through you, and just being in your company is such a blessing. And I thank you.
Well, thank you very much, my goodness.
My goodness, what a time this has been. And I know you enjoyed it. And I also know that you gleaned so much richness from this experience, being in the moment of spirit. So again, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Thank you for showing up. And mostly take the words that you have been inspired by to heart, and then into action, and let spirit be your guide. How beautiful you are. And Happy New Year. Happy 2014. Live a gracious life of the year of the horse, and have fun. Bless you. Bye-bye.